Hi, today we are going to see the ninth section of UPC 2023 Prelims Simplified 100 series. So, students who are located in Palakkad can avail offline courses for UPC CAC, KAS, Kerala PSC as well as SSC examinations. And we have started a new batch for SSC GD, and students can contact us through this phone number as well as this email ID. Please note that we have started courses for SSC GD. Okay. So the first topic of today is Zojila Pass. So in the starting of this year 2022, we know that there has been a conflict with China. So during that conflict with China, our government has decided that we should not close this Zojila Pass. So the first time Border Roads Organization has kept the Zojila Mountain Pass open beyond the 31st December. Zojila Pass is the highest mountain pass on the elevation of 3,528 meters above the sea level, located in the Kargil district of Ladakh. So it is a strategic link connecting Ladakh to Srinagar and rest of India to provide all-weather connectivity to Ladakh. Zojila Tunnel is being constructed. On once completed at 14.15 km, it will be the India's longest road tunnel and Asia's longest bi-directional tunnel. So you have to see that it is its length is 14.15 kilometers, right? And India's longest tunnel and Asia's longest bi-directional tunnel. So in UPS it may ask that Zujila Pass is a single directional tunnel. No, it is a bi-directional tunnel. And you can see that Zujila Pass connects Srinagar and Leh. And it is between the Srinagar and Leh and lies in the Kargil area, right? So, next topic is denotified tribes. On 31st of August, they have marked the 70th year of repeal of Criminal Tribes Act 1871. So, what is denotified tribes? Denotified tribes. So, DNT is the most vulnerable and deprived are communities that are notified as being born criminal during the British regime under Criminal Tribes Act 1871. So, during the time of British era, these tribes gave more problems to the British. So, the British has notified these tribes as criminal tribes, right? So DNTs are heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means different groups engage in various occupations such as transport, key making, salt trading, entertaining, acrobats, snake charmers, jugglers, and pastoralists. So they do the same profession that peoples are doing, but they belongs to the tribe act. So they do different occupations like key making, salt trading, entertaining, acrobats, snake charmers, jugglers, and pastoralists. So, Criminal Tribes Act 1871 was repealed by Habitual Offenders Act 1952. So, after the independence, our government has changed the act as Habitual Offenders Act. So, see the difference between the names. Criminal Tribes Act. Here, the whole tribe is considered as criminal. Here, Habitual Offenders Act. Here, the meaning is itself different. You can see that the tribes that do offending act most of the time, it is repealed by Habitual Offenders Act. Several DNTs were included in Scheduled Tribe, Scheduled Caste, and OBC list because they come from diverse background. As per the Rinki Commission 2008, there were more than 1,500 nomadic and semi-nomadic and 198 denotified tribes comprising 15 crore Indians. So 31st August is celebrated as Vimukta Jatis Day in India by DNT communities. So this is also one of the important current affairs details. Vimukta Jatis Day, right? So 80th topic is Indonesia. We know that recently Indonesia have transferred its capital from Jakarta to East Kalimantan district. So you can see where is Jakarta located and where is East Kalimantan located. So new capital will be called as Nusantara, meaning archipelago in Javanese. Indonesia is the largest archipelago of the world with 17,000 islands straddling the equator in Southeast Asia. It is located in Indian as well as the Pacific Ocean. So here will it lies the Indonesia, right? So here Indian Ocean, here Pacific Ocean. So Indonesia lies both in Indian Ocean as well as the Pacific Ocean. It is the first most populous nation of the world and shares land border with Malaysia. So in the northern side, it shares land border with Malaysia on the island of Borneo, right? Then with Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea lies in this side. And with Timor Leste, East Timor on the island of Timor, right? So borders of the countries are Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, and East Timor. Maritime borders with Australia, India, Palau, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. So here you can't see where is the land border with Malaysia, but in the same island they will be having both the countries. On the northern side they will be having Malaysia, and the southern side they will be having Indonesia, right? Similarly, they are sharing maritime borders with the Australia, India, Palau, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. Recently, you know that G20 summit was hosted by Indonesia. In Indonesia, our Prime Minister have said that we both share maritime boundary and we have only 90 kilometers, 90 miles distance between the Indonesia as well as the India. So next topic is Gender Snapshot 2022 report. This report was launched by United Nations Women, which works for gender equality and United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. So this gender snapshot report was released by. So when the gender came, you should know that it is released by UN Women, and another is Department of Economic and Social Affairs. Definitely, Social Affairs will be coming. So UN this up. UN Women and UN Disa. So what are the key highlights? It will take 286 years to achieve full gender equality at the current rate of progress. So the steps taken for the gender equality right now, if we continue at this progress, it will take 286 years to have a full gender equality. Okay. By end of 2022, with 383 million women, girls and women will live in extreme poverty compared to 368 million men and boys. Right? Over 1.2 billion women and girls reproductive age 15 to 49 lives in countries and areas with some restrictions on access to safe abortion. So, over 1.2 billion women and girls of reproductive age lives in a country with some restrictions. With some restrictions, this is the keyword on access to safe abortion. Women hold only 2 in every 10 science, engineering, and information and communication technology jobs globally. Global challenges like COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath, violence, conflict, and climate change are further exacerbating the gender disparities. So, 82nd topic is Global Estimates of Modern Slavery 2021 report. It is released by International Labour Organization. And modern slavery, as defined in the report, is comprised of two principal components: forced labor and forced marriage. Both refer to situations of exploitation that a person cannot refuse or cannot leave because of threats, violence, deception, and abuse of power. So you can understand the basic meaning why these forced labor and forced marriages are happening in our society, because they will be of some obligations that they have to do this. They are for binded by some obligations that they can't prevent it. For example, the family may be in poverty, so in order to feed them they have to take up this forced labor. At the same time, same situation is also applied for forced marriage also. So both refer to the situations of exploitation that a person cannot refuse or cannot leave because of threats, violence, deception, abuse of power, etc. So what are the key findings of the report? 50 million people in the world were living in the modern slavery in 2021 compared to the 40 million in 2016. So if you carefully observe, in 2016 only 40 million people have been living in the modern slavery. Sorry, but in 2021 50 million people are living in modern slavery. It has increased. Sorry. Of these, 28 million people were forced labor and 22 million were trapped in forced marriage. Right? So, 83rd topic is Peru, capital Lima. Peru government has declared 90-day environmental emergency. So, this word is something unique, right? We have been hearing about climate change nowadays. So, this term is something unique. Environmental emergency. In India, we don't have this type of emergency. Environmental emergency, right? So, in the coastal area in Lima, due to the recent oil spill, political boundaries of Peru is third largest South American. So, the Peru is the third largest South American country. So, can you recognize or can you imagine what are the first two countries in South America which has largest boundary? It is Argentina and Brazil. Argentina and Brazil. So the third largest country which has the largest boundary is largest share of space is Peru, and it shares land boundary with Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia and Chile. So it is easy to remember. How can I remember the boundaries of Peru? Double B, double C and E. Brazil, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia and Ecuador. It is also home to the historic sanctuary of Machu Picchu, center of Inca civilization, latest last grand Indian civilization and a World Heritage Site. Geographical features. It is located just south of equator and Mount Huascaran in its highest peak in Cordillera Blanca, part of Andes range. So Mount Huascaran. This is something to remember. Mount Huascaran, right? And it is located to the south of equator. Here you can see this is the country Peru, which is comparatively wide compared to other countries. And in northern side, it shares boundary with Ecuador. Here in the northeast, Colombia. In the east side, Brazil, and in the southern side, Bolivia, right? And in southern side, Chile, right? So in Ecuador, equator passes that we all know. So countries are first we will come in range of alphabet: Brazil, Bolivia, Colombia, Chile, and Ecuador. So this is all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.